Hey, good morning, Henry McClure live. Happy Father's Day. You want to get in the movie? Here, put your feet up. Charlie Wilson. You know, it's fun having a dog. I inherited this guy. I guess we're fathers to our dogs. My first dog was Major. Everybody called him Ranger. Then there was Max, who was a Weimaraner. Maximilian von Kluwe. I don't know what Charlie Wilson's registered name is. I don't know, and I don't care. But I can tell you Bianca's registered name, Bianca Bantleon McClure. So we come from the Bantleons from Kansas City and Pennsylvania. So Henry, 4 generations ago, met Wilhelmina at Heidelberg. That guy had some kids. He had 13 kids that we know of. Then his third son was Henry, who moved. He was actually, he joined the Union Army at age 13. And this is all on Mom's side. And then he settled in Kansas City and then ultimately he worked for the Union Pacific and ended up being the foreman of the yard there at Kansas City, Kansas. And he had some cousins that had been living in Wyandotte County actually for about 2 generations before he got there. So Henry had 2 sons, Vern and Clifford. And Vern was a doctor and Clifford became a lawyer back in the day when you law, you know, like right out of high school, you went to law school and then you got like a lawyer to sponsor you. And Clifford had 2 daughters with his wife, Mary, Virginia and Mariana. And Mariana and Harvey, they turned out a whole bunch of them, man. That side. And then on my side with Virginia and Bob, my dad, they were married for 20 years before they had me. And I said, man, wasn't there any practice? I mean, what was going on? So Dad adopted 3 kids before he had me. Or Mom, well, really what Dad did, he kept throwing kids at my mom so she would be occupied and not divorce him for being a drunk. He was the lawyer's lawyer, but he sure as hell wasn't the dad's dad. And it's kind of funny with my sobriety, over time, I thought, what a son of a bitch. And today I wish I could be more like him because of his ability to write. He was the lawyer's lawyer. Man, can he write? You got to see that guy's handwriting. You know, that's from Back to School with Dangerfield. Whoa, what penmanship. You got to love that. In fact, I might have to do a triple Lindy and get Bianca back in college, which I don't care. I got 50 years left, and if it means going back to school and getting a college degree, always loved photography, and I've always thought that photography really starts in the darkroom. You know, that's with black and white, which I love. I like the artfulness of black and white photography. And I don't know, some reason I feel I have the ability to create emotion within a photograph. Okay, he thinks he can do it. Hey, Wilson, put your feet up. anyway, so that brought you to my mom's side. Now let's talk about my dad's side, and we'll go back to James A. McClure. And after the Civil War, a Yankee, he was a chaplain. He became the third priest at First Presbyterian Church, and then he went around for the Presbyterians, opening up churches, and then retired to Topeka. And the judge or the priest had two boys. Well, actually, shit, I don't know. All I know is he had one son for sure. I got to get to know that. Judge James A. McClure, who was an advocate of, he was like the first progressive judge, giving blacks and Mexicans a fair sentence. Well, or how about a sentence just equal to the white guy? And then he became very active after Brown versus Board of Education. He brought new meaning, and well, they named a school after him. So it's named after my. So that's great and grandfather, and he brought new meaning to sober as a judge. You know, he said, "Hell, if you can ever tell me anything good alcohol did, I'll start drinking." But rumor had it he had a side chick. But anyway, so he had two boys. One became a doctor, and one became. Actually, my dad had his doctorate in law. My dad had a tax degree. My dad was a warrior. He got the judge got him a pass to during World War II just to go down and hang out on the border, but he wanted to be a pilot, so he joined the Army Air Corps, and they needed the smart guys to actually be navigators. You know, he was the early GPS system. Downstairs, I've got his star chart. It's really pretty cool. Someday I'll do a show about his star chart, because it's a story. And a story. The whole thing about my, you know, I definitely want to have I want to have an encyclopedia of life. You know, many chapters. 26 volumes. That guy. What the hell? So anyway, Bob's best client was actually Dad got kicked out of his dad's law firm for some sort of scandalous drunken thing down in Wichita, where a young girl lost her life. And that created a lot of embarrassment. And then Dad's best client was this guy named Oscar Stauffer, and he was general counsel to Stauffer Communications. So my mom and dad divorced when I was 3. And, you know, my mom did the Mr. Mom for a couple of years. And, you know, I admired my mom. She went back to school and got her, it's kind of like, hey, Bob, I'm not putting up with your shit anymore, you know. And my dad never stopped loving my mom. And I can tell you right now, I never stopped loving Renee. But my special place in her heart and love for my father. But if you can't evolve together, you can't be together. And the evolution of a relationship, you know, and that's, hey, it's Father's Day. I'll lay it on the line. I didn't want my daughter to think this is the way a woman treated a man. You know? Hey, look, you guys know me. I've got shortcomings. I do have the self-discipline to be better. So, anyway, it's Father's Day. I gave you a little background. So I want to talk to all the fathers. There's a guy out there that I know, Justin Koshin. He was on yesterday's show or the day before. You know, Justin, you ought to see his baby. That baby has got more power than any baby I've ever seen. since Bianca was born. And what I admire about Justin is his self-discipline in being clean and sober. So his daughter will grow up with, at least in an environment of sobriety from her father's standpoint. Danny Anderson once told me when he found out Renee was pregnant, you know, now you got to live your life like, be proud to tell your daughter every story. She knows 99.9% of them. You know, sometimes you got to tell a story of what not to do. So anyway, for those that have had to play Mr. Mom, so when I separated and divorced, you know, we had joint custody, and I had basically residential custody. You know, in a real bonehead move, Renee wanted to buy a fourplex, 4 one-bedrooms. At the end of the day, I capitulated because it got her out of the house. But hey, I said, let's just go buy a 2-bedroom house for you so you got a place for your daughter to stay. And my whole life with her was, if you just do this next thing for me, I'll be happy. There'll be bliss. And I spent a whole marriage of trying to do that next thing to make her happy. Yeah, I had that fourplex back in a year. Sold it. But anyway, about 2 months after the separation, Bianca and I are having dinner together, and it's like the little house we had on 20th Street just huge. It was like living in a mansion because of the vibration, much calmer. And we're having dinner, and I'm thinking about how much better our lives are. But in the same point, it saddens you because, you know, every child has a mother and father. Well, most of the time, you know what I'm saying. You know, the whole concept of rearing children is that the couple stay together. So I did my best over the years to never use Bianca as a pawn, as parents do in a real fucked up way. My dad was probably the leader of the pack. How does a dad use his legal gymnastics to take away 2 kids and leave 2 kids? I said, Dad, shit, if she was unfit for Robert and Allison, why the fuck wasn't she unfit for us? But that's what love will do when you got a broken heart. You'll do the wrong thing. So I know I have a lifetime now to be a good dad. A son's a son till he marries his wife, but a daughter's a daughter for the rest of your life. So I have a lifetime now to just be a good dad and do the right thing and do my best to live by example. Hey, she's bringing home tacos from Tortilla Jack's. How does it get better than that? I did a little work over at her house today, and I'm trying to get this development project and put her to work with me. So I'm working on that. That chair's empty. About from my stepdaughter, Jade, who I love. It's not important. You never try to replace, as a stepdad, you never try to replace their dad as a dad. And you can't be best friends. That just doesn't work. But the best thing you can be is a good person and have a good relationship and a friendly relationship. And the best you can do is lead by example and just pray that someday they ask you for advice. That's it. That's the best you can do. But other than that, you shouldn't interfere. You know, unless your kid's breaking the law, and you hate to have to. Yeah, I usually figure that I'm talking to intelligent people, and I don't have to throw in a disclaimer for stupidity. Oh, but just in the outside chance. Anyway, happy Father's Day. The best way to have a happy Father's Day is to be happy in here. I tell you, am I going to make more? Sure, I'm human, or at least some claim I am. I keep telling Bianca to keep looking to the sky, that maybe someday our ride's going to come. But here on earth, you know, just do your best, live by example, send out love, vibrate the good spirit, and you'll be happy. And happy Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to the Mr. Moms, and you know, and actually a bigger, even happy Father's Day to the Mrs. Dads, for all the moms that have had to play the dual role of the single parent, because because some son of a bitch out there doesn't do the right thing. But I love you guys more. I want to send you guys more love than ever. I do know your role. I know what it's like, and it's tough. I will tell you, moms, don't go out and get your kids earrings. You know, especially if they're boys, let them decide. Henry McClure, happy Father's Day. I love you.